They were here before the National Football League, these Green Bay Packers under Curly Lambeau.
The Packers have been great for the NFL.
You would not have the NFL without the Green Bay Packers.
It's small-town America. It's blue-collar America. It's owned by the fans.
On January 8th, 2006, a young quarterback coach in Mike McCarthy was handed the job of becoming the head coach of one of the most prestigious and recognizable sporting organizations in the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers being the third oldest franchise in the NFL. The Packers are an institution shrouded in accolades since their inception, dating back to 1919. The Packers have won 13 league championships, the most in NFL history, with 9 pre-Super Bowl NFL titles and 4 Super Bowl victories. The Packers won the first 2 Super Bowls in 1966 and 67, cementing them as a force to be reckoned with. The Vince Lombardi Trophy is named after Packers head coach Vince Lombardi, who guided them to their first 2 Super Bowls. But it hasn't always been smooth sailing. After Vince Lombardi retired, the Packers went through 2 decades of mediocrity before returning to glory in the 90s, winning the Super Bowl 97 under Mike Holmgren.
This is going to be one of those that goes right down to the wire. That's the feeling I had.
The Patriots had just scored a touchdown. The momentum was on their side.
From the goal line to the 5, to the 10, to the 15, through a hole in the 20, to the 30, outside, to the 40. He may be gone. Touchdown for Desmond.
But shortly after, Mike Holmgren would leave to go to the Seattle Seahawks, on the promise of having full control as general manager, something the Packers were reluctant to give. In the year 2000, Mike Sherman became the head coach of the Green Bay Packers as well, taking on a dual role, becoming the general manager, replacing Ron Wolf, who had been instrumental in ending the 2 decades of star success. Sherman would lead the Packers to 5 consecutive winning seasons from 2000 to 2004. From 2002 to 2004, he led the Packers to 3 consecutive NFC North division titles. From 2000 to 2004, he compiled a 53 in 27 record, a 0.663 winning percentage, which was the second highest in the Packers' history, trailing that of Vince Lombardi. Ted Thompson then replaced Mike Sherman as general manager of the Packers in 2005. When Thompson was hired, the Packers were over the salary cap for the upcoming 2005 season. They also had an aging and declining squad that needed a new direction. Despite receiving a contract extension earlier in the 2005 season, Sherman was fired by the Packers on January 2nd, 2006, after compiling a 4-12 record, Green Bay's first losing record since the 1991 season. It was also Sherman's only losing season during his Packers tenure. So why the pulling of the trigger?
I was elated because I just want to know what he tells them at halftime, because we're a completely different team in the second half than we are in the first half.
I felt like it was kind of all of a sudden. I mean, I'm just as disappointed as every Aggie is in the football season. I really don't know if it's the right choice.
I hate to see Mike Sherman go. I think he exemplified our core values and what A&M stands for great. But at the end of the day, you know, the football season in the past 4 years haven't turned out exactly how we anticipated. So I think a change was kind of in order.
We're going east. That's all that matters. The rest is just gravy.
Ted was a forward-thinking, long-term strategist. He wasn't afraid to make big calls. After all, that's what a general manager's job is. But with this new direction, Ted Thompson sought to appoint a younger coach, and in Mike McCarthy, he saw him as the right man for the job. Mike McCarthy had been at Green Bay prior as the quarterback coach during the 1999 season. This was under head coach Ray Rhodes, which was his only season in charge before leaving at the end of the 1999 regular season. Mike McCarthy's first job in the NFL, after leaving Pittsburgh University as their head coach, was the Kansas City Chiefs. He joined Kansas in the 1993 regular season under head coach Marty Schottenheimer. McCarthy worked 2 years as an offensive quality control assistant, but more importantly, McCarthy worked and got valuable and crucial experience working with Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Montana. In the 1995 regular season, he was promoted to quarterback coach, which he held up to the 1998 regular season. From there, Mike joined the Green Bay Packers, and after that the New Orleans Saints, where he was the offensive coordinator up till the 2005 regular season. McCarthy served as offensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers under Mike Nolan, playing a pivotal part in the drafting of Alex Smith. Bill Walsh's West Coast philosophy is a timing-based passing system that's designed to stretch the field horizontal, with short throws building up to a big play. It is based on maintaining control of the tempo. As well, it utilises the running back to spread defence. Speed and accuracy are key, athleticism is vital, as well versatile wide receivers and a quarterback that is efficient. Brett Favre, starting quarterback and Hall of Famer, nicknamed the Gunslinger. Brett can easily be argued to be the greatest quarterback of all time. Brett was originally drafted by the Atlanta Falcons in the second round with the 3rd overall pick in the 1991 NFL Draft. On July 18th of the same year, Favre agreed to a 3-year US $1.4 million contract with a signing bonus of $350,000. Atlanta head coach Jerry Glanville was against the drafting of Favre, citing Favre's personal issues of alcohol and his party lifestyle was for this. He famously said it would take a plane crash for him to put Favre into a game. Because this Favre only threw 4 passes during his one season with the Atlanta Falcons, and was then traded to the Green Bay Packers during the 1992 off-season. Favre went on to play 19 seasons in the NFL, starting every game from September 20th, 1982 to December 5th of 2010, and become the first NFL player to win 3 AP MVP awards, as well as the first player to throw for 70,000 passing yards and 500 touchdowns. He would also appear in 2 Super Bowls, winning the Super Bowl of '96 certifying himself in the history books. If only Jerry Glanville realised what a weapon he had on his hands. Brett was the ultimate sportsman. He was well adored in the changing rooms. In fact, a former teammate of Favre's, former NFL safety Leroy Butler, spent his entire 12-year career with the Green Bay Packers, getting front row seat to the ascent of one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. It was a position Butler says Favre didn't take lightly, and made sure that unity was across the roster. Speaking with TMZ Sports, Butler countered how Favre developed inclusion in the clubhouse. He was the best teammate, in my opinion, ever, and probably in all sports, because nothing bothered him, especially not colour, especially not a guy's religion, or sexuality, or anything like that, Butler said. We had a teammate, Ezra Tualo, who was openly gay. We love Ezra. It didn't matter what you were, we just saw one colour, and that was green and gold. You'd probably say, that's pretty much Brett Favre, and that's the reason why the state pretty much and all his teammates love him.
You got to get away from this at some point because it's too out of control.
Tell me that again?
You got to get away from this at some point. It's too out of control, you know?
What feels out of control about just on camera?
Well, I mean, just, yeah, this right here, yeah.
Though Rodgers was a star quarterback at Pleasant Valley High School in Chico, he was not heavily recruited by college football teams. He played for a year at the Butte College, a community college in nearby Oroville, before transferring in 2003 to the University of California in Berkeley. He soon took over as the starting quarterback for the school's Golden Bears, and in 2004 he guided the team to a 10-2 record, a number 9 ranking in the season's final Associated Press poll. Rodgers was named first team All-Pacific 10 Conference, and was chosen by the Packers in the first round of the 2005 NFL Draft. He then began a long apprenticeship as the team's backup quarterback behind starter Brett Favre. In his first 3 seasons from 2005 to 2007 in the league, Rodgers saw only limited action, appearing in just 7 games. Now on face value, you would think this is the perfect situation for a new coach to take over, the choice of a cemented legend in the game and a young promising quarterback. Well, this is where the problem arose, and Mike McCarthy had quite the task.